This is Roger with Wheel Kinetics in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck as a 2006 Ford F350 Crew Cab Long Bed, 6.0 turbo diesel. It's a King Ranch, which is the saddle leather package. It's also was an FX4. We had to paint the whole truck. We gave it a $3,000 paint job from VIP Paint. I'm going to show you around this truck. There'll be before and after pictures. The before pictures don't look nearly as bad as what it looked like when it showed up, which is my job to tell you what you're buying. It looked like we just needed to buy a driver's side bed rail. And when it got here, we're like, well, we need to get bumpers, both front and rear bumpers. Definitely needs the driver's side bed rail, and on and on and on. So we decided by the time we got done with it, we might as well paint the whole damn truck. So we did. And basically what I'll show you real quickly is what's been done to this truck, the major stuff. Okay, you've got bottom line of $8,200 worth of work, $3,000 to VIP paint, a grill, $627 for the bed rail itself from the dealer, mirrors, wheels and tires from Craigslist, a windshield. Then you go to mechanical radiator. It was tuned way too high. Someone had done a performance tune on it, so we took that out, so now it's factory. 3 injectors and a sensor from the dealer. We had the turbo cleaned, alignment, oil and filter, steering stabilizer was bent, steering dampener, front control bar and joint, and all the brakes. They stole all the brakes off the truck, so it's got all brand new everything, lines and everything. And then we had to get a new seat cover for the driver's seat. It doesn't have the King Ranch emblem on it because it's aftermarket, but it is that type of saddle leather. I'll show you that. Now the paintwork is not factory, all right? It's very good, but it's not factory. You can still see a couple little things in it here. We didn't replace the hood, so there's just, it's ticky-tacky, but it's my job to really show you what you're buying. And at this stage, we don't want to leave anything out. We don't want anyone disappointed or mad or thinking that we're hiding anything. There's the those are the Rancho suspension shocks that make it a FX4. The before pictures, you'll see the FX4 stickers on the sides. We just didn't buy them. We'd spent enough money on this thing. If you wanted to have FX4, I think you could buy the stickers for, I don't know, I think it's like $75. But like I said, the front bumper and rear bumper are new, and the driver's side bed rail is new. The wheels and tires are Michelin's, and they're very high tread. Got them off of Craigslist, paid $500 for them. I would say that they probably got 80 or 90% tread on the Michelin, so you don't need to replace them for a long time. Passenger side looks excellent. I would say the roughest part of this truck really is the hood. There's still a couple little blemishes in the paint, but for what you're buying and what you're going to pay, it's a hell of a lot of truck. See, I see there's a little blemish right here. If you can see that, right there, right there. Things like that. If you go over this thing with a microscope, you're going to find those things. But it's a lot of truck to paint. Just the materials alone, they spent a fortune on paint. And it's also two-tone. It's got a new exhaust tip. The exhaust tip you'll see in the pictures is all bent. So it's got a new exhaust tip on it. Here's your light package. Both of those. Let me see if I can get that back where it goes. That goes right. Yeah. Right there. Alright. Interesting. This is the bed that it showed up with. And there's not a whole lot of damage inside the bed, which tells me they didn't have anything heavy in it and probably didn't drop a fifth wheel in there because there's no dent from a fifth wheel trailer in there. A gooseneck dent, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, this entire bed rail was replaced with a factory bed rail. It was black. It came from Ford, from Home Settle Ford, and then they installed it at the body shop. So it's not some aftermarket wrecked part. That's the real thing. It's actually very good paintwork. There's a, right here, there's a little bubble there. I'd call it more like a run right there. But like I said, we're not selling you a truck that's brand new by any means. I'm going to open the hood. I'm going to show you what the what it looks like and sounds like under the hood. 61,567 miles. I kind of got to pick up the pace here. I don't have much time. Doing all this explaining. There's your factory. This is the original fender. There's the original core support. None of the structural stuff things have been replaced. That's a new battery. It's not on my list. There's the stamp for the core support on the driver's side, and there's the fender. The fenders and the core support, everything's original. There's a new battery on this side. The only real thing of size that we replaced was that bed rail, which is obvious in the pictures that had to be replaced. We thought we'd just be able to put that bed rail on and paint the bed rail and then buff the vehicle out, but it was just, it had scratch and it was just, yeah, the bed rail would look great and the rest of the truck would look like hell, so we just painted the whole truck. These seats look like your typical King Ranch seats. If you take saddle leather and conditioner to them, you can change the color and the feel of them. They're very soft, but that's what they look like. Just like a saddle looks when you use them. All right, so windows work. There you go. Give you a quick conditioner on this stuff. It tends to get a little bit better. They did steal the center console. Those center consoles with the King Ranch on top of them are really expensive. We didn't replace it. A lot of people don't even want them there because they use them as a pass-through for their dogs or whatever. You can see that, that's off and on. That's on, that's off. Forward, back, up, down, tilt up, tilt down, up. All the seat stuff works. This is the original seat. This thing could use some conditioning. Starting to get a little wear there. Really needs some conditioning. This seat should come back to life pretty well. It does have a manual, which is unusual. That's what the hole looks like when they stole the console. All right, let's see. All right, let's do the windows. Let's see. Passenger window, passenger rear window, driver rear window, driver front window, mirrors. These mirrors are brand new. In, up, down, other side, out, in, up, down. Perfect. Let's see. That's on, that's off. Back, forward, up, down. Tilt up, tilt down, tilt up, tilt down. That all works fine. Nothing going on there. This is a new seat cover. This isn't like a, you had to take the original seat cover off to put this on. Obviously it doesn't have the King Ranch emblem here, but this is brand new. These are expensive. This was $350. No, this was $295. The seat back was $350, and the armrest was $70. It's like $715 to redo this seat like that. So please appreciate it. That was painful. There's your tilt. I think that's part of why we didn't get the center console, because I know it's already in sticker shock, and they want to sell them as a package too with the front and rear seats. I didn't feel like paying $3,000, $4,000 so I could have a center console. All right. Steering wheel controls work. Changing the station. That works. All right. So radio works. Let's see if we can. Let's turn on the AC. steering controls. Temperature of the steering controls. Let's make sure we can do it from here. Yep, everything looks there. Trailer brake. Alright. This thing got a couple 3 injectors, a sensor, oil change. This thing it's had a lot of things looked at. And I told everyone to take their time on it because I didn't want it to go out as a surprise. But please remember, you're buying a vehicle. If you look at the pictures, you'll see that it was pretty much of a mess. I mean, it runs great and drives great, but we don't know what happened to it. We just bought it as a theft recovery. That's what we know. It's on a salvage title due to theft. And that's it. The 6-disc changer. Let's see, the rear slider, we showed you that. Let's put it in a neutral. Low. Turn off the mirror here. Alright, put it in drive. Oh, that's definitely 4 low. Holy cow. Granny gear there. Put it in reverse. Neutral, it won't go anywhere, will it? Alright, put it in neutral, put it into 4 high, and we're in 4 high, and put it in reverse. That's definitely 4 high. You could actually drive at speed in that. Alright, we put it into 2-wheel drive. Now let's go for a ride. Let me turn the air back on. It's still a little warm in Tucson, it's almost Thanksgiving. Let's see. This truck's being sold on a salvage title. You can't get plates or insurance on a salvage title, so if you want to come to Tucson to drive it home, you're welcome to. It's got a great set of tires. It's ready to go anywhere. Mechanically, we've driven this thing a zillion miles. For us, we usually drive a vehicle 100 or so miles. This thing's been driven more than that, quite a bit more than that. We know it pretty well. But if you come here to get insurance and plates, you have to have a restored salvage title. That requires us to take it to motor vehicles to get a level 3 inspection done. We charge $200 to do that. We'll get the title restored for you, and then we can get plates and insurance. Obviously, you can't go anywhere without that, so that's mandatory. $250 dock fee, and taxes. Taxes are 2% city sales tax here in Tucson, plus whatever your state tax rate is. So, let me give you an example of a deal. If your state tax rate is 3%, you're going to come to, and you want to come to Tucson to drive it home, you're going to be paying $200 to have the title restored. You're going to pay a $250 dock fee, and you're going to pay taxes. Your state tax rate of 3% plus our city tax rate of 2%. Cigarette's great. Nice. The steering's pretty tight too. Usually the steering boxes and these things are a little bit loose, but it's tight. Anyway, your tax rate plus our city tax rate plus $250 dock fee plus $200 to restore the title. You pay by wire and ship. No taxes are due. No dock fee is due. However, I strongly suggest you still have us restore the title for you unless you're sure you can get it done yourself. Please make sure you get a deposit in. Once we have a deposit, we have a deal. We'll put your name and a banner over the truck at wheelk.com. Until then, it's for sale. Please remember, especially on this vehicle, look at the pictures before. It had a rough life before. We spent a ton of money on it. We don't spend money on trucks that are bad, okay? Needless to say, we don't know what's going to happen to this thing. It's a 6.0. They're famous for EGRs. We've poured over this thing, but please, if you think you're buying a new truck for what you're paying for this one, you're not. There's bound to be an issue sooner or later, and some of the money you saved should be allotted in your mind to fix a check engine light or an injector or even an EGR at some point. Those things happen. We are not responsible for that. So if you want to buy a new car, go to the auto mall, plop down 60 and you'll have one. Okay? But this is a nice truck. I like it. Thank you very much for your time.